Continue now at the top of Daf Samach Zayin Amud Beis Meseches Eruvin. This is Eruvin Daf 67b. The Gemara had just asked, what happens if a Nachri, he has an independent entrance of his own that goes into a karfef, it goes into an enclosed area, so do we then say he does not aser on the mavoi? And the Gemara here answers, Afilu pasuach lekarfef, even if the entrance he has goes to an enclosed area as opposed to a bika, as opposed to an open area, still that's considered his primary entrance, and he does not aser on the people of the mavoi. Rashi says, Nichole beitzvei, he prefers the entrance that goes to the karfef, Dika avira tzvei mi mavoi, there's more airspace than there is in the mavoi, Vieno osra b'nei mavoi, and therefore he does not aser on the people of the mavoi. Rabbi and Rav Yosef d'Armi Tarvayo. Now Rabbi and Rav Yosef both say, Nachri Beis Asayim Oser. If the Nachri's independent entrance goes into an area of a Beis Asayim, that's not good enough. He still asers. However, Yoser mi Beis Asayim. If it's a nice large area, more than a Beis Asayim, Eino Oser. Then he does not aser on the people of the Mavui. But V'Yisrael, when it comes to a Jew, it's the opposite. Beis Asayim Eino Oser. If the area of his independent entrance is a Beis Asayim, then he does not aser on the people of the Mavui. Let's say he forgot to join the Eruv. Yoser mi Beis Asayim, but if it goes into an area that's more than a Beis Asayim, then Oser, then he is going to create problems, and that independent entrance isn't going to help anything. Rashi here explains, Nachri Beis Asayim Oser, Hayalo Pesach Lekarfe Beis Asayim or Pesach Lemavui. If he's got an entrance into an enclosed area that's a Beis Asayim, and also another entrance into the Mavui, Adayin Oser al B'nei Mavui. He still asers on the people of the Mavui. Ta'avira de karfef lo nafish, because it's not a very big karfef. He doesn't. It's not a good amount of airspace. He doesn't prefer that entrance. Avalim yozer mi beis asayim, but if it's an area larger than a beis asayim, nafish avira, it's plenty of space. Uvahi nichole, he prefers that entrance. Ve'eno oser, therefore his entrance into the mavoi is not counted. It doesn't aser. However, Yisrael sheyesh lo pesach lekarfef u pesach lemavoi. Let's say Yisrael has an entrance to a karfef and to the mavoi. V'shagach v'lo irav b'mavoi, and he forgets, and he doesn't make an eruv with the people of the mavoi. Em karfef beis hasayimu, if the karfef that he has an entrance into is a beis hasayim, sheroi lehishtamish bo, he can use that on Shabbos. Eino osra b'nei mavoi, then he doesn't ask on the people of the mavoi. V'yafa gavd l'gabe nachri choshev zutra. Now, even though for a non-Jew this area would be considered too small, l'gabe Yisrael nafish, for a Yisrael it's plenty of space for Shabbos. Da b'Shabbos lekahot soas masos yiserin, because on Shabbos you're not carrying large items. V'sagi b'hachi, so this is enough. Nafish avira mi mavoi, and it's got more airspace than the mavoi. Aval yoser mi beis hasayim, but if it's an area more than a beis hasayim, the karmelis, who now that area is rendered into a karmelis, you can't carry there. Kigo and shalahukaf ladira, because the case is it's not surrounded for the purpose of living in. Kevan do aser le'lishtamushe, so therefore, since it's aser to use that area, lo nichol bei, he doesn't prefer it. Va'ozer al b'nei mavoi, and in such a situation, he's going to aser on the people of the mavoi. The Gemara now continues, Boy minei Rava bar Chakloi mirav Huna. Rava bar Chakloi asked Rav Huna the following question: Pasuach lekarfef mau. If it opens into a karfef, what is the din? Rashi says, Pasuach lekarfef mau anochri koi. Going on the case of the non-Jew. V'amil said to Rav Yehuda. We're going back on what Rav Yehuda said previously. Again, if the non-Jew has his own entrance into an enclosed area, is that going to be enough to remove him from the calculation, and he doesn't create any isurim? Amar lei, so he responded, Hari Amru, they already said the answer to this. Beis hasayim oser. If the area is only a beis hasayim, then the nachri is still going to prohibit. It's not enough of an area that he would prefer that entrance. Yoser mi beis hasayim eino oser. But if it's more than a beis hasayim, it's not a problem. Amar Ula, Amar Reb Yochanan. Ula says in the name of Reb Yochanan, Karfef yoser mi beis hasayim shalohukaf ladira. Let's say if a karfef, it's more than a beis hasayim, it was not hukaf ladira. So again, as we said earlier, it has the status of a karmelis. Va'afilu kur, va'afilu kurayim, even if it's a much larger area, even if it's an area of a kur or an area of a kurayim, hazorek lesocho chayiv. If somebody throws inside from Rosh Hashanah to this area, you are chayiv. My time, what's the reason? Mechitza, because it really is a mechitza. On a doraisa level, it's going to be considered Rosh Hashanah. Elisha mechuseres diur, and you just don't have people living there, so therefore you have an isser d'rabbanan like a karmelis, but it doesn't affect the doraisa. Rashi says, "Azorek l'socham Rosh Hashanah chayiv chatos." If he throws in there from Rosh Hashanah, he's chayiv chatos. The alpha gav the linyan iser tiltul shav yirabbanan karmelis. Even though the rabbanan said on a rabbanan level this is considered a karmelis, shasur l'taltal b'socho, you can't carry in here. Ella bedalit, except for 4 amos. Midoraisa Rosh Hashanah gemurah, on a doraisa level it's Rosh Hashanah. The mechitza, it is a mechitza. Elisha mechuseres diur, and it's just missing people living there. When misham hachi aser rabbanan l'taltule, that's why the rabbanan in that case, they said it's a problem to carry, but it's still going to be a problem if you move something from Rosh Hashanah into this area. Mesev Rav Huna bar Chinna, the Gemara continues. Rav Huna bar Chinna asked the following question: Sela shabayam, let's say you have a rock in the sea. Gavoa asara v'rochav arba. It's 10 tvachim high, it's 4 tvachim wide, it has the dimensions of a rishus hayachid. Ein metaltalin, you cannot move lo min tocho liyam, not from the sela into the yam, v'lo min hayam litocho, not from the sea to it. Pachos mikan, but if it's smaller than this, metaltalin, then you are allowed to move items. Ad kama, now until how much? Ad beis asayim, until a beis asayim. And the Gemara is going to discuss what exactly did that last line mean, ad kama, ad beis asayim. Rashi over here explains, ein metaltalin lo mitocho liyam, afila b'dalat amos. You cannot carry even within dalat amos, mishum dechol gavoa asara v'rochav dalat hav rishus hayachid, because the area of the sela is going to be rishus hayachid. You're now carrying from rishus hayachid to the yam, which is a karmelis. Pachos mikan she'eno gavoa asara. Now, if it's not 10 high, karmelisi, then this area becomes a karmelis kiyam, just like the yam. Metaltalin mizel zeh toch dalat amos. You can move from one to the other as long as you stay within dalat amos. Of course, when you're in a karmelis, you're not going to carry more than dalat amos. But the point is, you can move things from the sela to the yam. That's not a problem. Then it said ad kamo yehi rochav sela. How wide can this rock be? Ad beis asayim, until a beis asayim. Avol tfeilo, but if it's more than a beis asayim, apparently it's aser. Well, the kamim mefarish hayakoy. The Gemara now will ask, what is this last line going on? This last line of ad kama. What is the meaning of this particular line? So the Gemara says, ahaya, what are we going on over here? Ilay ma'aseifa. If we're going on the end, the last line, beis asayim tfeilo. It can't be more than a beis asayim. Vami karmelis, the karmelis comes out. What's the problem? Even if it's more than a beis asayim, it's a karmelis. You're allowed to move things from a karmelis to a karmelis. So we can't be going on the case where it's not gavoa asara, because if it's not gavoa asara, who cares how wide it is? Elulav aresha. So obviously we're going on the first part of the statement where it was classified as rishus hayachid. The area was 10 tvachim high. The area was 4 wide, and we're talking about up until a beis asayim. Then it said you're not allowed to carry because, again, you're going from the karmelis to the rishus hayachid. Here is what the statement was. Sela shebayam, let's say you have a rock in the sea, gavoa asar, it's 10 high, v'rochav dalet, it's 4 wide, ein metaltalin lo mitocho liyam, v'lo min hayam l'socho. You're not allowed to move again from it to the sea or from the sea to it because that's considered rishus hayachid and the sea is a karmelis. V'ad kama, but until when? Ad beis asayim, only if it's until the width of a beis asayim. Hayeser mi beis asayim metaltalin, but once it is more than a beis asayim, then already you are allowed to move alma karmelisi. And you see from there that at that point, once it gets to the size of a beis asayim, it turns from a rishus hayachid to a karmelis. Now the problem is, we just said before that it turns into a karmelis on a drabanan level, but it's still technically a rishus hayachid. So this still doesn't make sense. So tiyuv to Rabbi Yochanan, that's what the Gemara now says. That should be a refutation of Rabbi Yochanan. It seems to be that if you have an area more than a beis asayim, it's not just a karmelis on a drabanan level, but it actually loses its status of rishus hayachid. So the Gemara says, Amar Rava says back, Mandalo yada terutze masnaisa tiyuvta mosiv leila Rabbi Yochanan. You think somebody who doesn't understand how to explain brises is going to ask from this a refutation on Rabbi Yochanan? That's ridiculous. Leolam aresha, really we are going on the beginning. We're going on that first case where it's rishus hayachid. V'hachi gamer. Here's how you read the statement in the brisa. Habesocho metaltalin. What it means to say is, within the sela, you can move things around, because within the sela, that's considered to be rishus hayachid. V'ad kaman, until when? Ad beis asayim, until a beis asayim, meaning once you already get to a situation of a beis asayim, so then you have an issue of moving around because it's going to be a karmelis. Rashi over here explains, going back a little bit, Rashi says, Inei ma'asef, we're going on the end, apachos me'asar, where it's not even 10 tvachim high, so tervayu karmelis ninu, they're both going to be a karmelis anyway, loshna rachav v'loshna katzir, who cares how wide the area is? That can't be what we're going on. Hayosem mi beis asayim, batel torres rishus hayachid minei. So at first the Gemara thought that if it's more than a beis asayim, it actually loses its status as rishus hayachid, v'hav a karmelis, and it becomes a karmelis, afilu lekula, even for leniency purposes. V'alfa gav the gavoa asar, even though it's 10 high, so that seems to be a refutation of Rabbi Yochanan. The Gemara says, no, li'olam aresha, v'lav amitocho liyam kai. We're not talking about transferring from the sela to the yam. Ella adiyuka kai. We're going on the diuk in the brisa. V'achi gadaik. Here's the diuk. Habesocho metaltalin. The implication is that within the sela itself, you can carry rishus hayachid, because it's rishus hayachid. Now, ad kama, until how much is it rishus hayachid? Ad beis asayim, until a beis asayim, avol tfeilo. But already more than that, then it's not. Then it's a problem. It's not a Rosh Hashanah. The Shavi Rabbanan Kakarmelis Linyan Tiltal, it's now considered a Karmelis, and you're going to be limited to 4 amos. Mishum de Mechusar Dira, you don't have anyone living there. Or Mechlef Rosh Hashanah, again, it's going to be confused with Rosh Hashanah. Miu Linyan Mitocho Leyam Rosh Hashanah. But certainly, in terms of carrying from it to the Yam, it is certainly going to be considered a Rosh Hashanah. And the Gemara now continues. Rav Ashi gives a different teretz on behalf of Rabbi Yochanan for the Brisa. Rav Ashi Amar Liolam Reisha. Really, we are going on the Reisha, just like we said before, but we're actually going on the case where you're carrying from the Sela to the Yam. So the question is, what's going on? Who cares if it's more than a Beis Hasayim? It should still be, according to Rabbi Yochanan, considered Rosh Hashanah. Why are you suddenly allowed to carry from the Sela to the Yam? And the answer is simple. Hein Amru v'Hein Amru. This entire carrying from the Sela to the Yam is all D'Rabbanan. They can lift that D'Rabbanan whenever they want. Meaning, Hein Amru, Karfif Yasrim Beis Hasayim Shalohukaf Ladir. They're the ones who said that a karfif more than a Beis Hasayim, which was not surrounded for living quarters, Ein Metaltlin Bo Ela B'Dalet Amos, that you cannot carry in it more than Dalet Amos. The Hein Amru, and they also said Ein Metaltlin Mer Rosh Hashanah LeKarmelis. They're the ones who said that you're not allowed to carry from Rosh Hashanah to a Karmelis. Remember, in this case, regardless of what the Sela is, the Yam is a Karmelis. So carrying from the Sela to the Yam is only going to be the Rabbanan anyway. And here is the logic of the Rabbanan. Beis Hasayim, if the area of the rack is only a Beis Hasayim or less, the Shari L'Tiltule Bekule, where already it's a Rosh Hashanah, you can carry within the rack itself. So Asri Rabbanan L'Tiltule, so then the Rabbanan said you cannot carry Lo Min Hayam L'Tocho v'Lo Mitocho L'Yam. You cannot carry from the sea to it or from it to the sea. They want to make sure it's clear that this area is a Rosh Hashanah. You're not allowed to carry from it to the sea or the reverse. But within it, it's not a problem. My time, Rosh Hashanah Gemuri. It's a total Rosh Hashanah, and now it's clear to everybody that's Rosh Hashanah. However, Yasser Beis Hasayim, when it's more than a Beis Hasayim, to Azr L'Tiltule Bekule, where there is an Isser D'Rabbanan to carry on the rack itself, so that Isser D'Rabbanan exists, and the Rabbanan wants you to be aware of that Isser D'Rabbanan. So therefore, Shari Rabbanan L'Tiltule Mitocho L'Yam V'Nayam L'Tocho. Therefore, the Rabbanan said, we're going to allow you to carry from the rack to the sea and from the sea to the rack, so you realize that this rack is a Karmelis and that you won't carry on the rack itself. Now the Gemara says, and my time, what's the reason? Dil ma'amri Rosh Hashanah Gemuri, because if we don't let you carry from the rack to the sea and vice versa, you may actually be confused and think that the rack is Rosh Hashanah, and you're going to end up carrying in the whole thing. Now, so the Gemara now asks, well, what's the difference? Why are the Rabbanan more concerned with the Isser D'Rabbanan of carrying on the rock when the rock is bigger than a Beis Hasayim, but they're not as concerned with the Isser of carrying, or the Isser D'Rabbanan of carrying from the Karmelis of the sea to the rock, which is a Rosh Hashanah on a Doraisa level? Why is that D'Rabbanan more important than the other D'Rabbanan? And to that the Gemara answers, Tocho Shchiach. It's very common to carry within the rock. That's a more common situation. So they wanted to keep their Isser D'Rabbanan there. Mitocho Liyam and Ayam Tocho, to carry things from this protruding rock to the sea and vice versa. Lo Shchiach. That's not as common, and therefore they did not. They were willing to take away the Isser D'Rabbanan in that particular case. And the Gemara continues at the 2 dots. Ahu Yanuka, there was a baby, the Shtapich Chamimi, that the warm water that was prepared for the baby's bris, it spilled out. They lost that water. Amar Luhu Rabba. So Rabba said to them, Naisu le chamimi migo beisai. Let's bring some of the warm water, the hot water from my house. Amar le Abaya. Abaya said to him, V'halo arvinan, but we don't have an Erev. How can we carry the water from your house? Amar le said to him, Nismoch hashituf. Okay, we can rely on the shitufei mavos. We didn't make it an Eruve chatzeros, but we did a shituf. Amar le halo shatfinan. He said, no, we didn't do a shitufei mavos either. Rashi over here explains, Nismoch hashituf de mavoi. We should rely on shitufei mavos. The Tanan Masnisin in Nishtatfu b'mavoi, it says later on in the Mishnah that if they made a shetufei mavos, mutter kan v'kan b'mavoi uvechatzeros, that actually allows the mavoi and the chatzeros afal pishalo irvu, even though they neglected to make an eruv chatzeros, the shetufei mavos alone can take care of everything. But in any case, Abaye said we didn't do that either. So finally, Rabba said, Neimru le l'nachri, leisi le fine, let's tell a non-Jew, and he'll bring warm water on our behalf. So Amar Abaye said, Boy la osvei lamar. I wanted to ask a question on Rabbah. However, v'lo shavkon Rav Yosef. However, Rav Yosef did not allow the question. Why? The Amar Rav Yosef, Amar Rav Kahana, because Rav Yosef had said the name of Rav Kahana, Ki avinon be Rav Yehuda. When I was in the house of Rav Yehuda, have Amar lon. He used to say to us as follows: B'doraisa mosvinon to yufta v'hadar avdinan ma'isa. When it comes to Isurei Doraisa, you first ask questions and then you do it. First you clarify whether it's okay, and then you go ahead and do it. Rashi says, "B'doraisa mosvina tiyuf the biser shel Torah v'chacham mora bo heter." If you have an iser doraisa and a chacham is saying it's mutter, v'yesh b'talmidim sheyodei lahashiv, and the talmidim know how to respond and say maybe your heter is not good. Yashiv kodemaisa, they should respond before anything happens. Shelo navor al divrei Torah. That way we won't transgress divrei Torah. Avo b'derabbanan, but in a situation which is just a rabbanan, could go in Eruvin chatzeros like an Eruv. Shavkina lechacham lasos korah. So we allow the chacham to do what he said, and we can always ask questions later. So by doraisa you can ask questions. However, by b'derabbanan, when it comes to a derabbanan like this, avdiran ma'isa, we do what the chacham says. V'hadar mosvinan tiyufta, and then we ask questions after. Labasar hachi, after the episode happened, Amar le, so then Rav Yosef said to Abaye, my boys laos ve'lamar. Well, what was your question? What was the question you were going to ask Rabbah? Amar le said to him, the Tanya, because we learned in a Brisa, Hazah shvus, the Brisa says, Hazah is a shvus, it's an Isser D'Rabbanan, the Amira l'nachri shvus, and also telling a non-Jew to do something on Shabbos is also an Isser D'Rabbanan. Rashi says, Hazah la tameh, when we do the sprinkling on someone who's tameh in order to purify him, Eina asura b'Shabbos, ela mishum shvus. That's only usher to do on Shabbos as an Isser D'Rabbanan. We'll continue with this brisa in the next video on Daf Samech Ches Amud Aleph.